Doesn't it for him? He said he hasn't played well here other than the year he won it. So this is a chance with the draw opening up for him to have another big run at Delray.
Tommy touched on the conditions as we take a look at our Regent 7 Seas Cruises weather report. It is hovering around 90 degrees Fahrenheit. The wind has picked up since the start of the day. It's blowing at about 16 miles an hour, and now it's more of a crosswind instead of just blowing strictly out of the south. So the conditions in the first match today, which saw James Blake fall to Ernest Gulbis, were starting to get tricky for the players. And that's going to continue today. But overall, very nice day. The rest of Florida right now is getting some rain, but not here. And here's the man we're anxious to see, Igor Sijsling, who's 25 years old, but everyone we've talked to today, Jimmy, says he's probably playing the best tennis of his career.
And as you said, we're going to see serve and volley. Well, I'm not 100% sure that's right, but hey, he does serve and volley quite a bit. He mixes it up a little bit, and that's unique in today's game. It's nice to see someone not just playing the same style as everyone else, staying back and crushing ground strokes. And we'll see if that presents any problems for Tommy Haas. It keeps you guessing, returning. You're not sure if a guy's coming in or not.
Well, this will be the second time these guys have faced each other this year. They played in New Zealand, in Auckland. Haas got past Sijsling in straight sets.
Looks like just one break a set in that match in Auckland, and that's why Sijsling was making overtures that he's got to make sure he holds serve, gets it late in the set, and that's when the serve and volley are that pressure of having to pass when it's 5-all, 6-all tiebreak. It's a little more difficult than maybe if you're already up a break and you're feeling relaxed.
Well, you're by nature pretty pessimistic, Jimmy, but why are you already saying you're not sure that Sijsling's going to serve and volley when everybody's telling us he is?
Well, let's wait and see what happens. Yeah, I'm not sure. I haven't seen him do it yet, so I want to wait till I see it.
Got to have that proven to you, huh? Now, Ashley Fisher moving in after a very talkative interviews, especially with Tommy Haas. Ashley, Tommy seems to be in a pretty good mood today as he gets ready to face Sijsling.
Yeah, and that's important for Tommy Haas. Often the way he plays on court sort of represents his mood. And he's certainly gotten better as far as dealing with that, with the emotional mood swings. He's become a father. He's got a better perspective on life. He's been injured twice and had to sit out for a full 12 months. And that can often help a player. It just shows them kind of what they're missing. Often you don't know how much you love tennis until it's taken away from you.
Well, Tommy Haas won this title back in 2006, and as you saw on that previous screen, he's 34 years of age. He was the oldest player in the top 50 last year and almost finished in the top 20, guys. He finished just outside at number 21. Tommy Haas just seems to be one of those guys that won't go away. He won't fade away into the sunset, so to speak.
Well, I think it's because he's a great player. It's the bottom line. He's got really all the shots, all the tools, moves well still, can do a little bit of everything.
Sijsling, on the other hand, a little bit more of an unknown, 25, as I mentioned a few moments ago. He was a great junior player and had a tough time making the transition from the juniors to the ATP level. He's been as high as 65 in the world, and it's close to that now at 74. But the way he's playing right now, people are very impressed with, and I know you were very impressed with how confident he is on the doubles court, Ashley.
Yeah, look, I watched him play last week as well in Memphis. He had 3 match points against Marian Cilic, and he's got a lot of variety. He's got a really good slice backhand, and he did well. Australian Open doubles finalist, and if we look past just how doubles can help you on the singles court, the return, the volley, things like that, it also helps you mentally. Just having a result like that for Igor Sijsling has broken down some self-belief barriers. Making a Grand Slam finalist showed him that he can do things that perhaps he didn't think were possible. And it's no coincidence to see him go and beat Joe Wilfried Tsonga, a top 10 player, right after that result in Melbourne.
These guys got about 3 minutes left in the warm-up, so let's continue to set this up as we take a look at our champion Porsche keys to the match.
Well, for Tommy Haas, he's going to have to open up the backhand. I know that Ashley said he's got a nice backhand, Sijsling, but it is a slice backhand. So you want to go to the forehand first, then attack that one-handed backhand side. hit the forehand well for Tommy Haas, because to me that's the side when he's playing well, he's hitting it and connecting with that side. When he's not playing well, he makes some unforced errors there. Sijsling's got to keep Haas guessing as far as whether he's going to serve and volley, whether he's going to stay back, keep that variety going and adjust to these conditions. He hasn't played as much outside as Tommy Haas, so anytime you're playing in windy, swirly conditions, it's difficult.
You can see both guys trying to feel out these lobs in the overhead in the warm-up, just to get an idea of how the wind is playing. Haas, a Florida resident for the last 22 years, back in the top 20 now. Can he hang on and finish the year in the top 20 as we begin a season of the year that Haas is very good? The North American hard courts. Delray Beach, the site of this match. We'll start it for you in a moment. Tennis. Pretty much everything slows down or stops when this event is in town. In fact, one of our parking lots is the City of Delray Beach parking lot. These guys give up their spots for the week so that this tournament can come to town, entertain the residents and the tennis fans around the world. Tommy Haas will begin serving to start this match. He is the number 2 seed here this week behind Isner. Haas, last year's ATP Comeback Player of the Year. Finished in the top 50. Again, he's 34 now. His ranking's inside the top 20 at 19.
It's incredible to me, actually, Sam, the fact that he's been able to come back from year-long injuries, not once, but twice in his career, and this second time at such an advanced age. You'd almost think, you know what, I've had a good career, it's time to hang it up, and he has not done that. And as you said, now back in the top 20 in the world, and who knows if he can do damage again in one of these Grand Slams. Still in great shape.
I was going to ask you, I mean, you said he's just a good player. Can you be more specific? What is it about Haas that allows him to come back all the time?
Well, I can be more specific, but generally what I'm saying is there's no real weakness in the Haas game. He's got a little bit of everything. He does everything well. outside of the fact that sometimes one of the problems for him is mentally. He's temperamental. But if he could get that under control, which you think as he gets older, that'll be something he does get under control a little better.
I know, Ashley, you spent a lot of time with him yesterday doing a promotional activity here at the tournament. He talked a lot about being married, having a daughter now. I'm sure that's calmed him down a little bit. And he holds comfortably here to start the match.
Yeah, it's just giving him some perspective. He's a father now, and that was a big goal also for Tommy, is wanting to play where his daughter could actually watch him and be old enough to understand and to see Daddy out there.
Here's a look at 2006, Tommy Haas's name on there. A lot of former champions in the draw this year. They all come back to Delray. It's such a popular event with the players. Anderson, Gulbis, Nishikori, Malise, Haas, all here. Sijsling serving. Let's see if he serves in volley.
Told you I was doubting it.
Well, he served, and then he volleyed.
That's true. Took at least one extra shot in between.
Sijsling dumps that over the net. You touched on him last week, Ashley, in Memphis, having rematch points against Cilic. Did you think he was going to convert one of those, or was it just a case where he was fortunate to be in that position?
No, I felt like he would win the match. He had them on his racket, at least one of them, and did serve volley. Pretty even-keeled guy emotionally, but as far as what he projects, he did get a little bit tight at the conclusion of that match in Memphis. That would have been a huge scalp, beating top seed Marin Cilic.
That was the second round there, like here, the round of 16, after he'd beaten Meltzer to start the tournament. Boy, he really had Haas on the defensive in that point.
He's got a pretty good contrast between his two sides, Sijsling, and that he gives you a slice backhand, but then all of a sudden when you get hit to the forehand side, it comes off with a lot of pace. So
yeah,
you're not getting a great rhythm against him.
No, it's a different ball. The forehand is a big weapon. Backhand stays low. You don't get grooved when you play Igor Sijsling, and also that his ability to come forward and mix in some serve volley adds to that feeling of being a little bit off balance, not really knowing what's coming.
It's game point Sijsling to try to even this up, and he does with an ace. There's a lot of variety from Sijsling in that opening service game, something that Haas has seen once before this year in Auckland.
And just talking about the Haas mind and his ability to get a little bit stronger mentally, just having spent time away from the game, being injured, when you're sitting there for 12 months, you realize that perhaps all of a sudden a ball getting caught in the wind in Delray Beach at 15 all isn't that big of an issue.
I think in sports in general, more often than not, injuries can be a blessing in disguise, as long as they're not a career-threatening injury. I've yet to find a guy who was injured and just said, yeah, I was happy to have a break, and I really wasn't sure I wanted to come back.
Yeah,
it really, if this is your passion, it stirs that up again.
Yeah, if you did take the sport for granted, you certainly don't after an injury. It also just serves as a reminder that every match, every tournament may be your last. There could be a possible career-ending injury, and it helps. It makes you appreciate what you're going through.
Great service game going here for Haas. 40 love.
He's got some action on the forehand. That was well disguised. He turned and loaded and waited for Haas to make a move.
Yeah, he's a guy that
is dangerous.
He's a guy that you watch and you don't think of him as being a player ranked 7 or 8.
Sijsling was looking for a call. It didn't come, so he's going to challenge. And if he's wrong, he's going to lose the game. He stopped playing.
Yeah, he didn't look that confident. Just it wasn't an immediate challenge.
He's looking less confident as it goes on, as he's switching sides already, and that's why.
He knew it. The Palazzo Hawkeye confirms that ball was in, and Tommy Haas sails through another service game. We're on serve through 3 games here in Delray Beach.
California Paint offers certified color palettes to help you choose the right paint colors for any project. Whether you're searching for timeless classics or undiscovered trends, paint colors to suit any taste can be found with California Paints. Visit CaliforniaPaints.com. To get all the gear you need, there's nothing else like it. Tennis fans, as that camera searches the crowd for your smiling face, give a wave to the camera, show us you're having a good time here at the Delray Beach International Tennis Championship. Yes, you, sir. Wave. Hello. Got my spine, I've got my orange crush. Got my spine.
Time.
Igor Sijsling serving 1-2 here in the first set. International Tennis Championships in Delray Beach.
And apart from just being confident around the net and having the ability just to win points neutrally, it's very important for players just to have the confidence to move forward and knock balls off. Just take advantage of the previous shot. When you see somebody like David Ferrer winning 9 out of 10 points at the net, usually that's an indication of the damage he's doing prior to the volley. But Sijsling has the ability to do both. He's a good enough volley where he can come in.
Well, he seems to me like he'd be a pretty good guy in terms of not being able to get much rhythm against. You know, that'd be one of his strengths. Doesn't give you the same look.
Look, he doesn't even give you the same look on a serve. He'll throw in a kick first serve and then at 120. So he's doing a good job of mixing things up. Maybe that's from doubles. I think doubles players think more about their serve. They don't just try to hit aces. A lot of singles-only guys, they fall in love with, I got a 130 serve, I'm going to keep serving at 130.
These guys are cruising through their service games so far. We're quickly at 2-all after 9 minutes. You know, actually getting back to the personal stuff with Haas, I was very impressed that he made the comment that he wanted to come back into tennis so his daughter could watch and remember him as a tennis player, because that does happen to a lot of guys, or maybe more so in the past, where they had kids after their career.
They can still show tapes.
Yeah, but, you know, I mean, it's not the same.
No, it's been such an important part of his life. It's who he is, really, as a person now. He's played tennis for probably the last 29 years, so he wants...
It's pretty wise.
Yeah, he wants his daughter to understand that.
Talking about Sijsling's serve and volley, and who is it that serves and volleys first? Is Tommy Haas. He can also... He's got a nice variety. Volleys beautifully, does everything well, has great feel up at the net, great anticipation.
Quickly 40 love. These are Federer-like service games for Haas. He is blazing through his service games. We're midway through the first set already.
Hey, tennis fans, like stadium veranda seating at the north end of the court. This is a beautiful suite that you certainly can buy your tickets into. It's a covered suite with food and drinks. And as nice as the weather is here and that sun beating down on you, when you want to get covered, when you want to be taken good care of by the staff here, this is the place to be, the stadium veranda. Inquire about it at the box office.
Back here in Delray Beach, this has been an entertaining 5 games. It's only taken 12 minutes, but the quality of the points has been very high.
Take your seat, please.
Nice. What a lob.
Looks to me as though Haas is a little shaky with the wind for his ground strokes, especially return a serve. So he's not really trying to hit the return. He's trying to just block it back in play and then use his defensive skills the rest of the way. Beautiful stuff that time. That time the chip return got some depth to it and it backed Sijsling up.
Yeah, it was good recognition from Haas. As soon as he saw Sijsling go to the slice backhand, he just snuck in. Used his feet well, just got to the ball quickly.
By the way, there wasn't much of a split step, and that's something kids can learn. If you see the ball floating to you, you don't have to stop. Just keep running through it. From comfortable hold after comfortable hold, all of a sudden, quickly, love 40.
Didn't see this coming. Break point for Haas to break this set open. Haas moved up 184 spots in the rankings last year. That's how he got that ATP Comeback Player of the Year award. Got to the finals of San Jose already this year. He was sick last week in Memphis and had to pull out before his second round match.
Three pretty good serves, and those triple break point erased in a hurry by Sijsling.
Yeah, he's come firing out of the gate after he got down triple break point. He's got game point. And Sijsling comes roaring back to hold. So is 25 the new 20 in tennis, guys? You're not that old at 25 anymore.
It does seem like it is. It's definitely gotten older, the tour. Tougher for young guys to break in. I think the tour's just gotten stronger, faster, bigger.
Let's look at our Palazzo Hawkeye serve.
And he seems to go quite a bit out to the forehand side of Haas so far. He's gotten a lot of chip returns, especially in the deuce court, so I think that's probably a good play for him. He's able to attack then on the next ball.
Yeah, he opens the court up as well with the angle going out wide in the deuce court.
Haas has done that as well quite a bit, going to the deuce, in the deuce court, going out to the forehand.
Perfect.
Often it's difficult when you've had love 40 and don't convert. The next game holding serve can be a little bit tricky. Haas hasn't shown any emotion. Normally he would have gotten mad a few years ago of not converting a break chance there and not really making a return in any of those points. So he hasn't shown any negative emotion yet, but all of a sudden he's down love 15. He's lost 6 points in a row now.
It's only the third he's lost on his serve. But he had only hit 2 second serves coming into this game. Just crushing his first serve. Now double fault creeping into the Haas serve. A little luck on that return, but he'll take it. Fortune favors the brave. It's break point now for Sijsling.
Yeah, again, a good move, though, after the return. Sijsling racing into the net to hold Haas accountable for his defense. Haas doesn't seem like a player entirely comfortable in the wind. In the pre-match interview, he said, yeah, you would think living in Bradenton would help me, but he sort of made reference to some results at the Sony Ericsson, and here, despite winning the tournament once, that he hadn't actually played that well in the wind over the years.
I think no question he's not a big fan of wind. I've seen it in the past for him, so he likes everything to feel right and be just perfect. And maybe the year he won this in 2006, it was not that windy that year.
He only has a 7-5 career tournament record here. Beat Melise in that final.
So there's 5 wins.
Yeah, so he's 2-7 the rest of the, or 2-5 the rest of the times he's played.
And it's Haas is a player that's comfortable hitting a backhand sort of on top of the bounce. He's got one of the best one-handers as far as that goes, but it's difficult if the conditions aren't perfect.
The break point.
This time he's got a second serve, so this is a chance now for Sijsling to convert. Wow. Really surprised at the slice forehand. He had plenty of time to see that ball change grips and rip one of his big forehands.
Yeah, it's almost like he just got caught with the backhand grip and just choked and forgot to switch over.
I think he felt his backhand return wasn't very strong and Haas would do more with it, but Haas didn't, so it was an opportunity certainly for Sijsling.
If you got up love 40 and didn't break Jimmy, and then the next service game, what percentage would you be broken that next game?
Well, that depends on the player. Obviously, me probably in the 75 to 80% range. Someone like Milos Raonic or John Isner, I don't think that would affect them all that much. Haas is somewhere in between me and those guys. But he's certainly struggling now for the first time on his service game. He held so easily the first 3 times.
Again, he had only lost 2 points on serve coming into this game.
I think serve and volley to Sijsling's backhand is open, but feels as though his backhand return is either chip or not a comfortable drive on the backhand side.
Yes, Sijsling breaks. And the Dutchman has his first outright lead in this opening set. Up 4-3.
award-winning Seagate Spa and Atlantic Grill on site, along with exclusive guest privileges at the Seagate Private Beach Club. Play while you stay at the new Seagate Country Club, featuring an 18-hole championship golf course, tennis, and world-class dining. The Boca Raton Spring Hill Marriott and Town Place Suite Marriott in Boca Raton provides everything you need. Located at I-95 and Yamato Road, these all-suite hotels have 5 room-type options in one location and are a proud sponsor of the 2013 Delray Beach International Tennis Championship.
But it's gotten away from him. Sijsling now up a break. Haas had triple break point, couldn't convert.
And I'll tell you, Tommy probably doesn't know this, but Igor certainly does. Sijsling didn't get broken in his loss against Marin Cilic last week. He lost both sets in tie breaks.
He's just managed his game so efficiently. But still no.
I tell you, the rhythm is off on Haas's return. He's almost splitting too early sometimes, and you saw it that time. He split to get ready, and the ball wasn't there yet, and then he's reaching. Part of that's the wind. Part of that is the variety that Sijsling puts such a different amount of spin and pace on each of his serves.
Yeah, that was better.
Much better. In unison. He moved up, took it early, hit it.
You guys are on the same page.
That's such a defensive mindset. Feels as though when Tommy knows it's windy, it starts getting into his head a little bit, he starts getting maybe too careful.
That's the shot that's going to be effective in the wind. That sort of short slice backhand, it stays pretty low, and then the wind actually catches it as well and makes the ball die.
It's sort of the Federer play, staple play for Roger that, as you said, more effective today in these type of conditions.
Well, Ashley, did Sijsling stay back as much in Memphis as he did so far in this match? I expected him, from what we were told, he'd be all over the net.
Yeah, he was mixing up serve and bowling. He was certainly doing more in Memphis than today. Who was it that told you about all these serve bowling plays?
I talked to a couple guys. One was Sam Querrey. But he then prefaced it by saying, you know what, he might not do it at all today now that I've told you he serves and volleys. So that's why I also said I'm not so sure when Sam opened the show about the serve and volley, and he hasn't.
One of your contemporaries, Jimmy.
And Jay Berger as well.
Talked to us about it, and James Massour of the ATP. So we had some good sources, Ashley. All right, are you proud of us?
Hey, he was just attempting serve and volley there, as it was a break point.
I was just trying to clarify if it actually came from the Sijsling camp or from ATP staff, James Massour.
Haas breaking right back, and we are even at 4-all.
4 games on.
Haas didn't freak out, stayed composed.
You know, the difference between the older Tommy Haas when he was younger and now is, even in the wording when he said this is an opportunity, he's looking at adverse conditions as an opportunity rather than already being beaten and getting into a poor state of mind before walking on the court.
I think Agassi was a lot like that. He would try to take a adverse situation and turn it into a positive. Jimmy, I love what Agassi told you at the U.S. Open about playing Federer in the wind, even though he lost the match.
Well, it was a very windy day. Both these guys, I have stories about that day. It was a quarterfinal day at the U.S. Open a few years back, and very windy, almost unplayable type wind. And I saw Andre before the match, and he goes, "Thank you very much," because Federer now, he felt that Federer's a great player, and he maybe needed some help. And this windy day would be an equalizer, and he'd be shaking the ball around. As it turned out, they both played like there was no wind. I guess they're just that good, those couple of guys. But Tommy also was in the quarterfinals that year, and he was playing Leighton Hewitt. And I warmed Tommy up, and he was having a horrible time in the warm-up. And he was acting, as you said, Ashley, sort of negative right from the start. He went out, and I think it was about 6-2, 6-2, 6-2 type of score that he lost to Hewitt.
Yeah, and Hewitt back then, he wouldn't give you an inch. Just dive in those positions. What you have to say to yourself as a player is, well, of course I don't like the wind. Nobody likes it. It makes it more difficult, but it's the same for everybody. And I'm going to deal with it. And certain players are better at it. Coming from Australia, you play close to the ocean a lot of the time, and it's very windy. So somebody like Marinko Matosevic, he enjoyed playing here last year.
Haas again is in trouble. He's facing break points, 15-40. I mean, what was the difference in the first 3 service games of Haas and these? I mean, why is he having so much trouble now?
Well, one, he was getting a lot of first serves in the first 3 games. So he was opening up the court, had control of the points right away. All of a sudden, Sijsling, even when he has gotten a couple first serves in, is making better contact on the returns.
There's a first serve.
30-40.
That erases 1 break point, but Haas has got 1 more to face here. It's the second ace for Haas. Double fault hands the break to Sijsling. And for a second straight time, Sijsling up a break. This time he'll serve for the set, though.
The largest news team in the area, the Post delivers exclusive stories you won't find anywhere else. Read us in print, online, or at your smartphone or tablet. The Palm Beach Post. Real news starts here. Trans-Africa Safaris are your specialists in the art of African travel. They have a reputation founded on providing highly personalized and creative individual and small group travel within Southern and East Africa and the Indian Ocean Islands. Family owned and operated, they are a team committed to service excellence, underpinned by prompt and professional delivery, an understanding of our clients' needs, and an in-depth knowledge of the destination. Experience, service, and passion. That's Trans-Africa Safaris.
Well, it looked like it was going to be a very successful opening set for Tommy Haas. Was cruising along, and then Sijsling has now broken Haas 2 straight times. Here's a look at their service profiles.
Haas still serving pretty well in his first serve percentage, but he's not winning any second serve points. He's actually not winning as many rallies as you would think. He's struggling a little bit in the wind from the back of the court. He's making some unforced errors. Like that. There's quite a few points where it ends. It's just, I'm not sure why his strokes aren't so big that they would cause some big problems in the wind, but he does seem to struggle a little bit.
Yeah, and with that illness that forced him to withdraw last week, he just hasn't hit as many balls in the last week or so.
Nice.
He has changed up, however, that on second serves, he's no longer just trying to block him back and play, but he's actually inside the baseline and ripping, and he can do that very well with that backhand especially. Sijsling's going to have to either get more first serves in or serve out wide to the forehand.
or try and jam Haas up a little bit, not give him quite as much room to swing on that
kick.
backhand.
Maybe a little more towards the hip.
Sijsling now 2 points from the set. Haas is fired up.
In an angry sort of way. He's almost as if he's saying, why haven't I been able to do that time after time? I've had a look, quite a nice look at some ground strokes and made the errors. There it is again. Just sort of a normal rally ball that Haas has trouble with. Wind takes it a little bit. It didn't have a lot of pace, but it did stay low, the slice backhand of Sijsling.
And it gives Sijsling set point. That's good. There's the shank you very much, Jimmy.
I almost made a living trying this shot over and over again. Most of the time it would go out. Occasionally I'd get one of these. Yes, that was some good fortune from Haas to save set point.
Now, because we're fair and balanced here, we have to report the knock on Sijsling that we were told, Jimmy, is that he has trouble closing things out. That case in point last week, Ashley against Cilic.
That was the scouting report. We'll see if that's the case. He's been up a break now twice in a row, serving for the set.
And now he's down break point after he's had a set point. And Haas just keeps fighting it off. Sijsling is going to challenge this. But it was called good. So if the call stands, it's a break of serve.
This would be a somewhat fortunate break for Haas as he hit 2 shank backhand returns. That was a good second serve. He went body hard, aggressive second serve, and volley. And Haas was really just trying to fight it off, and it finds the line. Those 2 breaks, you would think Haas would now have quite a bit of confidence, that he would have some momentum. Being able to break back twice in a row like that.
Jimmy, can you sense when you're out there when another guy has trouble finishing you off?
Yes, you can sense it. I'm not sure if that was the case in that last game for Sijsling.
Because of the mishits?
Just the mishits helped out, obviously, Haas quite a bit. But even if you don't sense it, Haas will be thinking it right now, that he can't finish me, that when he has the chance, I'm going to come through.
He guessed right, but he missed.
Yeah, you can trick yourself if you're Tommy Haas and you say, look, this guy doesn't want it. He's been up a break twice and he's given the break back both times. I'm going to take it. I do want it. Sijsling just doesn't have a lot of history to draw upon to get confidence from beating players like Tommy Haas. He had an excellent win over Joe Willie Tsonga, but apart from that, he can't take comfort in knowing, oh, I served out a match against Marian Cilic or beat a bunch of top 20 players. You try and tell yourself as a player it's no different. It's just like serving out any other match. Like, I've played tennis my whole life, but
it's
you
different.
Don't really believe it.
Yeah. There it is again, another sort of short nothing ball, and Haas is off balance as he goes to hit the 4, and he actually ended up having to reach for it. Just seems to have more trouble in swirling conditions than a lot of other players. I wouldn't mind, as I said, serve and volley to the backhand in the ad court. I want to see what Sijsling does with that. He's been going serve to the forehand. Pretty big variety. And that looks dangerous to me. Sijsling crushes. He's crushed a few forehand returns.
Crushed his way to break point again. Haas has been broken twice in a row.
Just a short backswing. Just met the ball nicely. Took it early.
And I think he's starting to read it. It's gone to the forehand quite a bit. Haas big majority of the time.
Next person.
Well, Haas did what I wanted him to do, and Sijsling said, this is what I've got when you serve and volley there. Beautiful return.
Sijsling still with a chance to serve this out. Let's see if he can do it.
Don't forget to stop by Unique Travel of Palm Beach, a full-service travel agency specializing in the world and beyond. Travel and leisure and Condé Nast travel. Unique Travel advisors have traveled the world and would love to orchestrate your dreams. As proud members of Virtuoso Unique Travel, they've established relationships that last a lifetime. Stop by today and register for a chance to win a free cruise aboard the all-inclusive Regent 7 Seas. Swallow is South Africa's largest private game reserve in a vast malaria-free wilderness with superlative game, including desert black rhino, black man Kalahari lions, and meerkats. Catering for up to 30 guests, the emphasis is on flexibility and exclusivity. Design your own itinerary with game drives, bushwalks, and horseback safaris, spa treatments, and exquisite cuisine at Swallow.
Time.
Igor Sijsling of the Netherlands has been given another chance to serve this set out against Tommy Haas. 5-4 he served for it, had a set point, got broken. We've talked about the knock on him is his inability to close matches out against top players. Well, this could be a breakthrough.
Well, he didn't play a bad service game the last time. He tried to close out the set. Haas did get a little fortunate with a couple of shank backhand returns, so that's what Sijsling just needs to keep reminding himself. Overall, he has been serving well.
Tough to believe 3 breaks in a row. You're able to get the break back. I mean, you got to believe Sijsling's feeling some confidence, but I thought that was going to happen the last game, that Haas was going to really draw some confidence from getting the second break back. Especially a guy whose strength really is holding serve, Sijsling.
Well, Sijsling managing this second opportunity much better, and he's got triple set point. So Sijsling comes through, closes out Haas. Let's see if he can finish off the match. Igor Sijsling has taken a step in that direction. The Dutchman comes out, takes it to Tommy Haas, the 2006 champion, and Sijsling's up a set 7-5.
Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for Lindsay and Raquel and the whole volleyball
Well, last year's ATP Comeback Player of the Year is going to have to earn that distinction in this match. Tommy Haas down a set against the Netherlands' Igor Sijsling. Haas going with the shirt change, hoping it changes his fortune. That set really got away from Haas. He was cruising through the first 5 games. Looked great, even though it never was translating to a break lead. Just the way he was playing looked like he'd be building on it. Sijsling broke him 3 times at the end of the set. Second lob winner for Haas.
Sijsling a little upset with himself. I think he felt as though maybe he could have reached that if he'd gone straight up. Tried to hit the overhead. Once he let it get over his head, that's a 1 in a million type shot he attempted. It feels though Sijsling's backhand return is a little better than I thought early on. Haas has been serving so often in the forehand, and I thought it was just an attempt to open up the backhand side where you could attack. But Sijsling's backhand return, he can come over it and hit it, even though he likes to hit a lot of slice.
We've seen some good backhand returns today, haven't we? Gulbis earlier, now Sijsling. Haas holds it love. Good start. Here's where Sijsling has been hitting the ball on his return.
That's where he's striking the ball. Is that what that's saying? And if that's the case, he's well inside the baseline.
On the second serve.
On the second serve. And in the first serve, he's not too far back. Haas, you can tell, he sort of mixes it up. He's very aggressive, even more aggressive on the second serve return. Every once in a while, he stays back. There was one second serve there where he stood way behind the baseline. But for first serve, he backs up quite a bit, often.
He's hitting way far inside that baseline.
What it also showed, though, was Sijsling serving every second serve to the Haas backhand.
There it is again.
Haas is struggling with that shot, so why not? Now Sijsling doing it on a first serve, an 80-mile-an-hour, just cheesy kicker.
Yeah, it's really gone on him in the last couple of games. Sijsling served for the set. Haas opened the game up by missing 2 second serve returns on the backhand. And the wind's kicked up even more.
Yeah, it has. Sijsling definitely seems to be more comfortable in these conditions. It's not bothering him. Haas isn't showing it really outwardly, but inside I think he's seething at the moment.
Oh, Sijsling overhit that forehand. It's a cold front coming through the area over the next 24 hours. Supposed to really cool things down, like in 2 days from now. The high is only 72 here in South Florida. We're up around 90 at the start of this match. Sijsling, hold serve, 1-all. Haas entered this year with 500 career wins. And he's now won 505 tour victories. There's only 4 other guys out there on tour. He's the 4th of the current players that have won at least 500 matches. Haas has had a career that's spanned a few generations out there. So he approaches 35. Sijsling didn't get it.
The only positive, I suppose, to being injured, or one of the positives, we talked about the perspective issue that it gives you, but it's a year that isn't taking its toll on your body. So Tommy's had 2 years off like that. So as far as playing, he's only really 32.
He's been over here for 22 years, Jimmy, and he's lived pretty much near you. Do you remember what Nick Bollettieri was so high on Haas when he was a little guy?
Do I remember that he was? Yeah, I remember that he was. He always had me practicing when I was a little guy. And he improved quickly in the last, from about 16 to 18. So he gets through a quick love hold.
Tennis fans, USTA members get exclusive discounts on everything from tennis to car insurance. Stop by our booth and let us show you how to play more, get more, and give more with USTA Florida. The beautiful Wyndham Boca Raton welcomes all ATP players, friends, and family. Located near the finest shopping, restaurants, and attractions, the Wyndham Boca Raton features the award-winning restaurant Red, offering prime steaks and an extensive wine list, and also Rasa Italia, serving modern Italian cuisine with a twist. Enjoy a drink by our heated pool in our lush tropical courtyard, and be sure to visit our yoga studio, fitness center, and tea lounge. All guest rooms and suites feature a private balcony or terrace. Make the Wyndham Boca Raton your home away from home.
Tommy Haas and Igor Sijsling battling it out here on the main stadium court at the International Tennis Championships in Delray Beach, Florida. John Isner and Jesse Levine coming up later tonight at 8:30 Eastern Time. It's a definite contrast there between those two guys.
It's one where the underdog in Jesse Levine might not be overwhelmed mentally because he used to beat Isner when they play against each other in college. So I think he can definitely take some confidence away from that. He lost to him here last year in 2 tie breaks. And I talked to Jesse Levine a little bit yesterday. He didn't sound overwhelmed, certainly, by the prospect of playing Isner.
He actually beat him in Newport comfortably, 3-1. And I was playing next match, and the scoreboard had it wrong. It had Isner winning the match. And I said to Isner, geez, couldn't you have played a little bit longer to give me some time to get ready after he'd just lost in straight sets?
And he smacked you.
He wasn't too happy.
Wow. I mean, the strategy for Haas coming in was to attack the backhand of Sijsling, and
it's held up well.
Yeah, it has. I mean, it doesn't look pretty to me. Often he's backing up as he hits it. His upper body sort of falls away. But it's definitely, in these tough conditions, it hasn't broken down at all.
The Isner-Levine match tonight, I wonder how well those two guys get along, because not only did they just play in college, they were on fiercely rival teams. I mean, it's Florida-Georgia, for crying out loud.
Exactly. So I think they seem to get along fine, actually, to tell you the truth.
That's good. Haas comes flying in and denies the hold 40-30, though. After
losing the last point, Haas let the racket fly a little, maybe got some of that anger out. I think he's been wanting to do that for a while, and he's held it all in.
Sijsling just will not let go. He answered the question in the first set of can he close that set out, and now he's hanging with Haas trying to finish this match. His ranking now at 74. He's never been around the top 50. That would be the next milestone for him to cross. These guys are using the wind.
Yeah, at that point there was a lot of just massaging going around. Slice, let the wind sort of move the ball around. That wasn't what Tommy Haas wanted to do coming into the match. Didn't want to get in too many slice backhand rallies.
Haas continues to keep his nose in front here in the second set. Pressure falls back to Sijsling.
With your media partner, the Sun Sentinel. It's catered by Brews Room, Grill, City Oyster, and Gourmet Expressions. It's the Delray Beach, Boca Raton, and Boynton Beach Chambers of Commerce. That's in the Hospitality Pavilion at 5:45. Also, on Wednesday and Thursday here at the ITC, it's Senior Days, sponsored by the Palm Beach Post, Delray Medical Center, and West Boca Medical Center. Seniors, buy one, reserve, or boxy, get one free.
Igor Sijsling up a set, 2-3 here in the second. 25-year-old from the Netherlands. Doubles runner-up at the Australian Open earlier this year with his countryman Robin Haas. No Dutch team has won a Grand Slam since Elting and Harhus won Wimbledon in '98. This is the strongest win players have faced, and Sijsling thought for sure that had gone in. As it's gotten cloudier, the wind has picked up.
Feels as though rain wants to start falling soon. And if that's the case, Haas, sort of the kind of feeling for Haas where he wants to hang in there. Maybe the conditions will be a little different if they come back later.
See, it's clouding up out there, but I just looked at the radar online. I didn't see any rain.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I trust the radar or my eyes better, but looks like rain. That play has worked a couple of times now for Haas. You might start looking for that a little more often.
Yeah, he takes
second serve return, hit, and then come forward.
Yeah, once he sees Sijsling going to that slice, then he just really closes. Does a nice job of getting the ball high over the net.
Yay, Sijsling.
Good hold from Sijsling.
3 games on.
So we've split the first 6 games here in the second set. You think either one of these guys really has momentum? Is Haas just hanging on? Or
I think Haas is just hanging on, to tell you the truth. I don't think he likes the wind. He's more tentative. You see it on the return. He normally can hit the return. He's chipping a lot of them, trying to come over some of the second serves, but almost never on a first serve. He's just a little bit out of sorts. So Sijsling can get a hold of a couple of returns and get into some rallies. I think he's got a real opportunity.
He just tomahawked that second serve.
Wow,
that ends up winning the point.
He handled the wind well there. Obviously, it was a huge gust of wind, and Haas is one of those guys that cannot catch his toss.
It was like a hatchet throw. Let the wind do the work.
Sijsling did a good job in that point. 2 times fighting off deep, tough shots to the forehand side, and then he finally got a ball that he was going to be back to neutral or maybe even have the advantage on. That's the one he misses.
All-G 15.
Sijsling making some errors in that game. Haas the beneficiary, and Haas stays in front 4-3, second set.
Tennis fans, we pick it up here in the front row of section Q, and we are going to play a little Let's Make a Deal. It's very simple. What's your first name? Robert. All you have to do is you have to pick ball number 1 held by Raquel, ball number 2 held by Lindsay, or the clipboard held by me. You win the prize. What do you want? You can't have them both. You get one. All right, he'll take Raquel. Raquel has a autographed tennis ball by Ernest Gulbis, winner of our last match. Here's what we're going to do. You want to steal that tennis ball, or you want to take one of the other 2 prizes? One of the 2 prizes. Which one do you want? You're going to take the clipboard. This right here is a Porsche. You don't get to win the Porsche, but we're going to move you down to the best seats in the house down there on the court and let you watch the rest of the match from the Porsche 911. That's it from here in the stands.
Igor Sijsling trying to stay with Tommy Haas here in the second set, as it's been all Sijsling statistically here.
Second serve points won is always a pretty important stat. Haas only won 9 of those so far. Break chances, both similar really. They did 1 extra break for Sijsling. He broke 3 times in a row in that first set. Haas broke back 2 of the times.
Those are a couple of big serves there from Sijsling. He's a strong guy. Thick build. He'll be disappointed if he challenges this.
I thought that one caught the line. He must see some sort of mark or something that caused him to...
He's on the court, we're over the lines. So, yeah, I mean, it looked good to me. Plazo Hawkeye confirms that. 30 love.
LG 15. Says 2 degrees winning.
This match has deteriorated a little bit from the high level it was earlier. A lot more unforced errors creeping in both guys. A couple of good serves, though, in this game from Sijsling. 2 aces in the game.
Yeah, he's got some tools. Sijsling. No reason why he shouldn't continue moving up through the rankings and have a successful career.
I think the wind has been to the detriment of the match. We're not seeing the same level of rallies we had earlier. So 4-all. Pressure on Haas now.
Oh boy.
Uh-oh.
Ankle sprain.
Sijsling goes over on the ankle.
To it. Wow.
Haas immediately coming up to the net. The chair umpire has come out onto the court. And let's see.
Actually don't want to see. I hate these kind of things, but he looks struggling to walk at the moment. Sometimes in the heat of battle, when it just first happens, you can sort of get through it, get a little tape on and finish the day, but
he's testing it. You can see it.
Feeling he'll at least give it a go, but I think we're going to have an injury timeout.
Well, they've called the trainer.
Very unfortunate for Sijsling. He was playing pretty well. He felt as though Haas was a little bit on the ropes, a little out of sorts with the wind and the conditions, and Sijsling was playing pretty well.
Tommy Haas had some experience with this. Remember he did this at Wimbledon, just warming up, tripped on a ball. So Haas understands those ankle issues as he stands at the net, asking Sijsling what happened. Sijsling is going to wait for the trainer to get out here.
Now let's take a look. You can tell me, Sam, I don't like watching.
You can't watch it. He just turns over on the left ankle. It wasn't the full foot going over. It was more up on the ball of his foot and rolled it. So he was up on the ball of his foot. Yeah. Rolled the ankle. Shoes come off. Trainer's out. We'll take a break and hope Sijsling can continue here at 4-all in the second. Well, the tournament physician and trainer out there talking to Igor Sijsling as they try to assess how serious this ankle injury is. He was up on the ball of his foot when he rolled it. And it would be a shame for a number of reasons, but I mean, Sijsling is playing the best tennis of his career right now. And was beating Tommy Haas. It's 4-all in the second after he won the first set 7-5. You see it again. I've seen worse.
Goes to hit the backhand. He comes up on the toe and then just, that's.
But because it rolled and twisted, I think that's the problem. We've seen ankles go all the way over. That one twisted, though.
He went down in such a hurry, I thought, boy, he's in trouble.
Yeah.
And it's really hurt from the look of that replay. Yes, I'm sure it's going to be sore. It's going to be a little bit swollen. He's going to have a little less mobility. But get the sense that if they tape it up, he might be able to finish playing this match. And then all of a sudden, it's not going to be easy for Haas mentally.
Well,
you never know how injured your opponent is, and it makes it tough. It puts a certain wrinkle into the match.
The only thing that concerns me is how long the doctor's been out there. It has not been the trainer really doing much. Now, they haven't even put any tape on it. It's the physician.
They're still assessing.
Yeah, manipulating that foot as if, they're worried about something maybe a little more serious than an ankle roll. And there you can see the grimace of pain, whatever he just touched, Sijsling pulling the leg back.
Spoke to this doctor yesterday for a while. I was giving him a hard time because he told me he's an orthopedic doctor. I said, what specialty? And he said, I'm shoulder, elbow, wrist, knee. And what are you talking? You're supposed to get one or the other, not all of those. But ankle was not one of the ones he mentioned, unfortunately, for Sijsling.
He knows a lot more about ankles than we do, though.
He certainly does. Because, as you said, there wasn't just the sort of ankle turn, but a little twist as it was happening. There might be some ligament worries in there, and that grimace obviously wasn't a great sign. This is one of the longest assessments. You have a 3-minute injury timeout after they can decide what the injury is. This has taken a long time to try to figure out what the injury is before the official injury timeout even starts.
It's just unusual from the standpoint that normally, if a player's going to continue, they're taping the ankle. The roll of tape isn't even out yet.
Not yet, no.
And it's a lot more discussion going on than we're used to seeing in these situations. The trainer and the doctor trying to talk him through his options. I'm sure he doesn't want to stop.
Like I said, it looks like rain. If they keep talking long enough, maybe they get off the court. Rain will have a day before he has to worry about it.
Yesterday in our second match, the match ended. It started raining right away after Melise won. I think he is weighing his options right now and trying to make a decision. See, it's been over 8 minutes.
3-minute injury timeout, but first you get to assess the injury, and this is the longest assessment. I'm surprised. They're going to drive him to the hospital and get an MRI?
They're going to tape it up. Sijsling getting the ankle taped, and it looks like he is intending to make a go of it. We'll be back in a moment.
gentlemen, Mr. Sijsling is now receiving a medical timeout.
It's been about 10 minutes since the ankle turn for Igor Sijsling, but he is now getting taped up. The assessment has finally ended, a little longer than normal. Probably another minute or two, and he'll have to get up out of the chair and start to play. Haas has been back out on the court warming up some serves. Big moments right now when this match does resume for Haas. He's down a set, it's 4-all. Can't have a letdown now and lose this game. All of a sudden the match is over in the next 5 minutes. So mentally not the easiest spot for Haas to be in. He's got to forget about what's going on with his opponent and try to stick to what he's been doing the last few service games. He's been holding pretty comfortably. Interesting rule to me, really, that you have a 3-minute injury timeout, that it's timed, but that, as you see, this is obviously much longer than 3 minutes. The trainer's doing a great job once they decided to tape it up. Just getting the tape on in a hurry. Haas trying to keep his feet moving after this nearly 12-minute delay. Sijsling getting the shoes back on, so...
What would you do, Jimmy, if your opponent was...
I'd start saying, hey, let's get going. It's 3 minutes injury timeout. Why are we playing for 12 minutes?
Other than your typical personality, what, from an athlete's standpoint...
You do what Haas is
Forget
doing.
about you. Maybe I should say, what should Haas do?
You do what he's doing. You'd hit a few serves if you could. I mean, I'd almost get a ball kid at some point and say, hey, let's rally. I'm sure some of these ball kids can play pretty well.
So Azarenka do that at the Australian this year. Get the ball kids to throw balls to her. Well, we'll see if Sijsling can make a go of it. I mean,
judging by the look of the ankle turn, it did not seem... He's already got his own ankle brace, as you see. So maybe that saved him from going all the way over. I just, obviously he's had some trouble with his ankle in the past. I think he's actually going to be able to play, if I had to make a guess. So Haas better be ready in the next couple of minutes.
Still, though, just human nature, wouldn't you be testing it out a little bit, afraid to make a move?
First couple of points, you probably would be a little running gingerly, I would assume. And you know it's there. When the tape's fresh, it's pretty tight. You feel it.
So after almost 14 minutes, we're going to resume this 4-all. Haas is up 15-love, second set.
If you're Haas normally in this situation, you serve it out wide to the backhand and make Sijsling run as far as you can. So wide to the backhand, hit it to the open court, see what type of movement Sijsling has. Haas decides to go down the tee and bring him right in the middle of the court. Again, deuce court, serve out wide, run him to the backhand if you're Haas. Haas is in a little bit of trouble, folks.
Well, I was going to say, do you think part of the decision-making process for Sijsling is, look, I really only need to win 2 more games?
Yes, of course. And the other part is, I think it's sprained and it's hurt a little bit, but it's not so bad. I would be surprised if he couldn't continue playing. But the problem is Haas sees that. The conditions are windy, swirly. It's hard to hit to the corners. He's got to do it right from the serve. He's got to go wide with the serve and then give himself more room to make Sijsling move. Right now, once that rally started, you could see him. You don't want to miss when your opponent's injured, so he's hitting a lot of balls right down the center. This is a very anxious moment here for Haas.
Well, clearly,
he's not moving well, but it's not easy to make somebody move in a swirly, windy condition at 4-all, 30-all tight moment. So if Haas can get through this set, then he's going to win the match if that's all Sijsling's got.
And he holds serve. So Haas moves in front 5-4. Sijsling continues to test the ankle out. It'll be Sijsling serving to stay in the set when we return to Delray Beach.
Atlantic Avenue Magazine captures the heart and soul of Delray Beach, covering the vibrant feel of this town with its eclectic range of shops, restaurants, salons, and spas. In fact, any type of business. Promote yourself in Atlantic Avenue Magazine.
Open the mics, open the mics, open the mics.
Level 15.
Oh, we've missed a point here because the guys really didn't take any time on that changeover. They pretty much didn't sit down.
Well, they had the 13-minute break. Oh, Sijsling. Is he done? Does that mean he's... Yeah. Oh, he's hitting people in the crowd. That's not a good play.
Sijsling launched 2 out of the stadium, then the third one hit a spectator as he apologized.
He might just...
And I don't know.
He might have gotten defaulted for hitting the spectator there.
Supervisor coming out.
I'm not sure. Look, looked to me like he just realized I'm not going to win this match any longer. I had a good chance. Anger overcame him with the bad luck of the ankle sprain.
Umpires describing the situation to Mark Darby.
It's just made things worse for himself, Sijsling, with that little outburst.
Thought he was going to hit every ball out and then default.
So did I, but he hit 2 of them out, and the third one.
Mr. Sijsling.
was given a warning. That should at least be a point.
No, it's just a warning at this point. But
okay. So Mark Darby basically, I guess, came out and said, well, I guess he didn't mean to hit the spectator? Or?
I guess so, but if you remember that now Bandian incident in Queens where he kicked the sign and it broke and hurt a linesman, and he was defaulted and suspended and all kinds of stuff. I mean, so the spectator is fine, but
yeah. And there was no intent by Sijsling
definitely
to
no
hit
intent
at anyone. He was trying to hit it out of the stadium.
Right.
Oh, Haas has got triple set point after all that. That was strange.
40.
Sijsling can't use his leg. The left leg is what you jump off of to serve. He can't even serve at this point. It's almost...
That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, Sijsling is going to go ahead and retire. Frustrating Igor Sijsling, and certainly in his defense. He was playing a great match. He knows what we would do, too. I mean, he's got to be just boiling and all kinds of emotions inside.
This was a big opportunity for Sijsling to have a good win, a top 20 win. He felt as though he had the opportunity. He absolutely did not mean to hit the ball at the spectator, and I think he feels bad enough about that and about everything else that happened in the last 5 or 10 minutes of this match. A tough break for Igor Sijsling. He was playing well, and hopefully the injury isn't a big deal, and hopefully he doesn't get in too much trouble for what just transpired.
Well,
Tommy Haas, the #2 seed, has moved on, but he's got to feel a little fortunate that he's able to get through that match, as he wasn't playing well. The conditions were causing him trouble, and so is Sijsling's game.
Now, Tommy Haas, very fortunate to get through that. Wasn't playing his best.